Coming up here, Circle the Debate Podcast, episode 60. Yeah, he's holding that belt. He's holding that belt. As we're going to go ahead and give our thoughts of last week's AEW Dynamite, the cage match, and much more on AEW. And also preview for this Saturday's AEW's lineup as well. We'll be discussing, and also we'll be giving, of course, our thoughts about Hell in a Cell. And, of course, pro wrestling news, because there's a lot coming up this upcoming month of July, a lot coming. And, of course, at this week's NXT and much more. So don't go anywhere as episode 60 begins right now. Yes.
No.
Welcome, everyone, to the Circle Debate Podcast. This is the host, Devious One ABC. I'm here with my familia, the West Side faction, because we are the D-Generation West. We are the Evolution. We are the Four Horsemen. We are the Dark Order. We can call us anything. Yes, anything we can be, for sure. Of course, alongside with the former executive vice president of Impact.
Former now,
and pretty soon to be becoming a full-time at AEW, which is coming around. We already know that. And of course,
I'll find something new. I'll find something new in due time. Oh, get out of my brain! Get out of my brain!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mr. MGC Matthew Callis Steamboat.
This is my Don Callis protection mask. Like, I won't turn into him as long as I have this, and I have this. You know.
That's his actual. He wants to bring back Retribution. I think that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. He wants to bring Slapjack back. He wants him right now on the freeway to make some steaks. That's what he wants.
Hometown buffet.
Oh, I don't know. Go to Hometown buffet. And of course, I have a man who, of course, is now from North Carolina, because now there's a shirt say, "Oh, North Carolina." No, this man is a multi-time recording artist, all right? A graduate from Cal State Dominguez Hills. And he's also a 2018, 19, 20, 21, well, defending his title. That's why he has that belt for the reason. World Karaoke Champion here in Los Angeles, California. Because you know why, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to say it why. Because he lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Minnesota. You got to help me, Matt, because my voice is gone. Canada! Thank you. Because he is the master disaster, the king of sting, and the man with the plan. Money, Mike Lopez.
Just for today, Extreme Mike Lopez.
That's right, because our top 5 this Sunday is our top 5 ECW champions. That is right. That's why he is Extreme Money Mike Lopez, the by God of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside with his manager there, who manages all his roles. He is the God amongst insects of podcasting. That is, of course, Mr. Matt Callis right there. Mm-hmm. What a hot summer day here in Southern California, ladies and gentlemen.
What you drinking there?
I am drinking a michelada on a, I don't know what the hell you call this. What do you call this?
Terracotta plant?
I guess a pot. You want to call
It's
it
the pots that created where humanity was made, where the lizard people came down and took the Homo sapiens and turned us into humans inside of those pots.
Wow, Mr. Callis.
That's next level consciousness.
That is absolutely
Very next level.
Very next level. That's what remember, ladies and gentlemen. Here at Circle Debate, you learn a lot of things here. There's knowledge, the knowledge that you get from these two great podcasters, individuals right here because they know their knowledge. Besides professional wrestling, they know much, much more. So now let's touch into the topic with AEW. I want to, yes, I know we're doing it a week late, but we're happy to announce that at least AEW is coming back to June, next week, back to the regular scheduling program. And I know that AEW's numbers has not been great. The fact is because on a Friday night, I mean, come on, think about it. It's about 10 Eastern, 11 p.m. around there, right after SmackDown. Who's going to watch AEW? Not that much people will watch it. They'll probably watch it the following day. They recorded a DVR or something. But, the demographics are still there. I mean, as long as they're still top, why not? I'm not defending here AEW. I'm not Uncle Seltzer, okay? I'm being general. But let's talk about the MMA matchup. So, Money Mike, I'm going to go with you on this one. Your thoughts about this cage match between Wardlow and Jake Hager, this MMA. As you can saw, have you seen? They did the whole scenario of UFC style. They actually go ahead and actually with the Vaseline and everything else competed. And Wardlow took a couple of shots, like even though they weren't real shots, but he took a couple one. But also remind you, they did not mention the 6-sided octagon. They did not. Because they know that they do that, they get sued by Dana White and UFC. That's a fact. Because they own that trademark. They're able to say the 6-sided octagon. Nobody else can say that. Not even PFL, not even Bellator. Nobody can say that. Only UFC can. So I'm going to let Money Mike give you more details about that. Take it away.
To all my math majors, geometry folks, hold on, let me just put this belt down because it's freaking heavy as hell. So it's a hexagon. It's not an octagon. It's a hexagon. 6-sided ring, well, not ring, cage, right? I can honestly say that I was impressed with the cage itself. It looked a little empty without the sponsors and whatnot, right? But it looked legit. Like they went over to a gym and borrowed it or something. And the canvas said AEW. So that was cool. I mentioned last week about how I wouldn't have wanted it to be like Bloodsport. Sorry, Josh Barnett, we're boys, we've met, all that good stuff. But I'm just not a fan of the Bloodsport thing. And this was a little bit different in that it resembled more of a MMA fight. And I say resembled because it wasn't a legit fight. Let me see. I want to say this as best as I can, that while, they were able to go back and forth and stuff, and a hurricanrana in an MMA bout, honestly, I laughed. I laughed quite a few times. I chuckled too. And that was it. I know some people on the message boards and the nerds online, they are saying, well, it's not supposed to be like that. Well, then what do you expect? It's a professional wrestling show, and I enjoyed it. I did not take it too seriously. Now, I've heard somewhere, rumor innuendo, that Hager has been challenged to an actual MMA bout in that cage. That obviously would take months of training camp, weight cuts. They decide, the ounce gloves, all these sort of things come into play there. But would that be interesting?
Who challenged him though?
You know what? I don't know this gentleman's name. Maybe you do. So please enlighten us.
I wish I did, but that's what I was asking you.
I saw it.
I saw it on Twitter.
Yes, it was on Twitter. I don't know this gentleman, but it should be interesting.
I saw it on Twitter too, though, but I don't remember the name either.
I don't know if he's a Bellator alumni or if he's on the roster of Bellator. I don't know if he is, but I know for a fact that he's a fighter. His comment was just like, "Oh yeah, it was a good thing, but how about a real fight?"
You know what? I realized it then too, while it was happening. Huge missed opportunity by AEW. They should have had Mauro commentate to give it that more legit feel. Not because he knows wrestling, he knows MMA. That would have been legit right there.
I agree. The man's done it all, man. He's like the voice of sports, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia! Oh shit! My voice. Sorry, gentlemen. My voice is gone for yelling too much at customers at the Cafe Brass. Looking at it, I'm back there working. My voice is gone. So what happens? We have karaoke. You can't hear it. So you understand? See, okay, let's speak loud. Matt Callis, your thoughts about that cage match?
That Huracan Rana, that's something you don't really see in MMA cage matches. Probably next to never. Huracan Rana. It was cool nonetheless. It's I think it was kind of a given Jake would win, because it would be kind of like too much of an upset with as new and green as Wardlow is. So, I mean, I think they're just showing that anything's possible with AEW. Who knows? Maybe, I think because it's kind of like a more of a work than a shoot, or it's a shooted work or of some kind. It means that that maybe we could have like a Ken Shamrock, Jake Hager, like faux MMA is what we'll call it. Is that a good description, Mike, Ivan? That's like a faux MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's valid.
It's valid. Absolutely.
It's like the vegan cheese of MMA.
Now I know who called them out.
I compared it to non-alcoholic beer.
It's like fucking having no duels, man. Hell no.
So I think, since you don't have the venom in it, you could probably, get away with like a fake Ken Shamrock, Jake Hager thing going on, because Ken Shamrock was just recently, what was it, last year, the year before last year, active in Impact. Ken Shamrock. So that door's open. I mean, we could have Ken Shamrock, Jake Hager, and it could just be, more of a work than a shoot once again.
Definitely. Okay, now I found the guy who actually called him out. It was he is the one heavyweight champion from one.
Oh, yeah, he's a heavyweight. So.
He's a heavyweight. That is, yeah. And plus Jake Hager's heavyweight too.
Yeah.
His name is Arjan Singh Bular. He's the one heavyweight champion for the promotion one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's the one that called him out. He's like, congrats on the squash match with Wardlow. How about we give the fans a real fight inside the AEW Squared Circle live on TNT? And Bellator versus one. Winner gets the mace of Hugh Hanuman and the right to be called the God of Wrestling. Whoa.
Now, I'll comment on that right quick.
Go ahead.
I really don't think that's going to happen, considering... Yes, Jake Hager is undefeated, but he has not fought top 5 guys. I'm not too familiar with one championship, but yeah, I feel like Jake would probably need a couple more fights under his belt to be able to really do or go for something like that.
I agree. I think this is what it is. I think throughout the pandemic, he never fought. Ever since one time only, right? Throughout the pandemic, and that was it. Like, I don't know I don't know the details, but I could assume, my opinion, I feel that maybe because he was not comfortable, for his safety, think about it. You're competing in a mixed martial art world and the professional ring world. So I think you're trying to play it safe, but not contaminating both sides. What about this individual has, and then you go to, other promotion and spread the whole thing out. You're around the locker room. So I think that's probably why he played it safe and why he did not compete and rather do pro wrestling more with AEW than with Bellator. So it makes sense why I'm not knocking Hager at all for him taking that time off. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll see him back in the octagon, this year, the real octagon.
The fact that it's one championship actually changes a lot, what you guys said. Yeah. So for those who don't know, Kenny Omega has a pretty good relationship with one championship. And a good friend of Kenny Omega is like, one championship is a Japanese promotion. So I guess like one of the things is a certain pop star who dabbled in wrestling, who recently graduated from her pop group, occasionally works with One Championship Wrestling.
Interesting. Oh, that's her, right? Oh, okay, I see her.
Yeah, being absorbed by the power of Matthew.
By the power of Matthew right there. Yes.
Being absorbed, like I've got like no eyes. I've got like laser vision, you know. But here she is. She's inside of my hat.
Ah, I see.
Matsui Jurina. She works for One Championship. And they're owned by Abema TV, which is a major Japanese entertainment company and network. So this could be a Bellator One Championship crossover, and that would be kind of interesting.
That would be interesting to see, though. It would be. Oh, wow. Or might even include PFL. Why not? All right. And then what is Andrade talking about a surprise? That's what I'm curious about. This is the price talked about, of course. We did see that, sit down with JR, talk about what a surprise. And of course, yes, Mike is pointing at the picture. Yes, because we did cover it on Andrade. We hosted, by the way. So which will be hosting Kurt Angle as well. We will be hosting the Kurt Angle event. Stay tuned for the more details of that. Then we see Vicky Guerrero challenging, Britt and Rebel or Reba or Rebel in a tag match against her and Nyla. I think a surprise might come out next Wednesday. Now, I want to ask, I'm going to take it to Matt Callis. Who is that surprise that Andrade is talking about?
So it's gone so many different ways. I think some of the like goofy internet netizens are just like, some of them are trolling like, oh, they're having a baby and his name's Eddie Jr. I'm like, come on, get out of here with that crap. It's funny, but I was thinking about that even when I was at work. Eddie Jr. Come on, get the hell out of here. And bring me some chips while you're out getting out there. you goofy Facebook AEW WWE marks. So the Andrade, it could be. I'm kind of hoping it's more AAA wrestlers, some more maybe like a girl and a guy. So maybe we get Psycho Clown and somebody who competed in Reina del Reinas. Was it Reina del Reinas?
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen of Queens. So somebody who in Rey del Rey is like, we could have Psycho Clown or Pagano. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing them. Just bringing the pain, bringing some real blood, some real deathmatch business to it. And, maybe they could keep Eddie Kingston busy or something like that. Pagano and Chessman, dude. Psycho Clown, Pagano, Chessman. I don't mind. I don't know the AAA female roster, but they've got a pretty sizable roster, if I remember correctly.
They do. They actually do. Money Mike, who is this surprise that Andrade's talking about?
You know what? I'm very intrigued. I can't wait. Should be fun. Should be fun to see. Matt Callis brings up a good point that it could be somebody from AAA because, there's a little event known as Triple Mania, right? That's there. It's signed already. It's good to go. Omega and Andrade are going to clash. It's going to happen. So they're going to have to build this up. And, the worlds colliding, even from now, would be a great thing, And that's the cool thing, para mi gente latina, los hispanos, aquí nosotros, qué orgullo me da ver a tanta gente de los nuestros ser parte de una compañía tan grande como AEW. It gives me a great honor to see such a Hispanic presence in AEW. And honestly, I can't wait for whatever Andrade has for us, who he has for us. And so I'm tuning in.
Yeah,
Mike, I got to say in response to that, in that Espanol, por una cabeza de no podría.
Claro que sí.
Música.
Sí. I mean, everybody's saying, Tia Trinidad. It could be her. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I'm not going to jump the gun and say yes. I believe that's why we're not saying that name, but I'm going to say it regardless. It could be, and if it is, great for her. I would love to see her in AEW. She'll fit perfectly well. I think we have to discuss it in the archives. We have that she at the time would have fitted very well with her and Diamante and Ivelisse, but Ivelisse is gone, so she could be just Diamante's maybe tag partner too. Anything could will like Vega, I'm just Tia Trinidad, excuse me, will fit very perfectly well in that roster. Um, Understanding that the roster itself in AEW is overwhelmed with a lot of talent, so it's pretty difficult to see who they're gonna bring and what they're gonna bring. But I might go with both of you guys. Maybe what about if it's not her? It could be talent from AAA that are gonna be invading. We're now gonna see AAA talent maybe invading in AEW for the first time. So that's something very intriguing and interesting to see. We'll be tuning in next Wednesday for sure. Now let's talk about Saturday's preview down. Saturday, of course, June 26th. For tomorrow, we'll be seeing what's going to happen. So let's go ahead. Well, I'm sorry. Before I talk about Saturday, one more thing I want to talk about Dynamite that I was just curious to know, and that's of course Brock Anderson, not Lesnar. Brock Anderson.
Dun, 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 dun. Like you have to change the melody. Dun, 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 dun.
Of course, he teamed up. Of course, Art Anderson's son teaming up with Cody Rhodes versus Aaron Solo and QT Marshall. His debut on Dynamite for the first time. So I'll go with Money Mike. Well, you're impressed of his performance.
He did well. He did well in the performance. All things considered, Brock this, Brock that. I really don't think it's a case of nepotism or anything like that. That just because he's Arn Anderson's son, he's getting the opportunity. No, he can wrestle, right? I did see some green in there, but
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, is what I'm trying to say. And to be honest, I like Cody giving opportunity to younger guys. Brock Anderson is not the only young guy that has come out from the Nightmare Factory or whatever that he has going on over there. So yeah, what I keep hearing online is, eventually he's gonna turn on Cody. He's gonna turn heel. I honestly hope that happens, because if you look in the course of time, you have these second, third generation wrestlers who start off face, and it's the heel turn that really takes them off. It catapults them. We've seen it numerous times. I could name drop a whole bunch of names. Just go do your research and see that it's true.
Matt Callis.
Brock Anderson is the Manderson with the Randerson. No, Brock Anderson makes muffins. No, I'm not gonna. I think you're gonna have a little bit like a different movement from him than his dad. Like, because like you said, some people aren't gonna completely copy their father's movesets. Like Randy Orton doesn't move like Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob. And shout out to Randy Orton's aunt in Vegas. What's up? I hope you let me win it at roulette next time I play. And The Rock doesn't move like his dad either. So we can see a very different style from Brock Anderson. It's not going to be all spine busters and this and that. I mean, we could even look at Dustin Rhodes. He's got his own moveset. They've got their own flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, I don't do what my dad does for a living. I don't, we're all pretty. I know Father's Day just passed by, and they say you could be a chip off the old block, but we gotta wait for him. Yeah, there you go. You gotta wait for him to kind of come into his own. Right now he's still kind of like, people are getting to know him, and they gotta let people know who his dad is. But as he develops his style, he's got his own thing going on. I mean, I'm seeing Brian Pillman Jr. kind of coming on it into his own. He's a little bit more of like a modern flyer compared to his dad. So it's a very different type of thing that each of them's got going on.
Yeah, I could.
Was it ever addressed who Dominic's real dad is? I'm just trying to solve that mystery.
That mystery will never be solved, man.
It might be me. I'm not sure.
Uh-oh.
I'm
It should have been me. All right, now we can move on for Saturday's event. Now that we're on Saturday's event, of course, the card is, by far what we know that it's updated. We do have Chris Statlander versus the Bunny. We also have Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. By the way, go back and watch that match that they first had. I believe it was in Dark. It was a great match. Great up and like, it's like I can put it like this, and this is not a disrespect to both of these individuals. It's like going to an independent show that you go, like, oh my God, they bust the greatest moves of all time. Like, oh shit, I love it. I love it. So it's just like so like incredible stuff what they do. Highly recommend to see that match. Go back in Dark on YouTube and watch it. And also you have Hangman Page versus Power Hobbs. Of course, you have Kenny, by God Omega, defending the AEW World Title versus Jungle Boy. I mean, we did see how it was. But at least I can tell you one thing: they're really hyping. We said it before that AEW's issues has always been how to create a story, how to plot a story. We've been saying that. This by far, if you notice, they're going with this story for the last 2 weeks. When it was announced shortly right after Jungle Boy won the Casino Battle Royal that, okay, he's going to face Omega. We thought it was going to be in the next pay-per-view event. Turns out it was by, the end of this month of June. But within the last 2 weeks, if you notice, they've been building the story. Omega's punking him like, oh, you're nothing, kid. You're just a kid. Just like what we saw this last week. And, he has that ruthless aggression that he has, Jungle Boy. So, I mean, I can say this is right now, for the first time in AEW, we're seeing a story. And this is for the main championship. And I know it's not the best. Like I said, I'm not here to defend AEW, but it's not the best. But at least you can say they're trying to figure out a way how to develop their storyline telling for us, fans. So I'm looking forward to see the outcome of this match. I have a feeling this match will be like a straight underdog and like how the same like with Orange Cassidy, like the same like the Orange Cassidy one. It's like, oh, it's almost like, oh, he's almost there though. He's almost about to win. But what about this though? What about if Jungle Boy wins? Then what? That's something that will shock the world. So, Matt Cavitz, so you see that happening with this. What are you expecting for this main event coming up tomorrow in Dynamite between Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy? What are you expecting?
I won't turn into Don Callis for this. Instead, what I'm expecting to happen is for Jungle Boy to come out with his head shaved, doing the moonwalk while eating a tea sandwich and being like, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn the AEW title into the ride like a motherfucker title, and I'm going to ride. I'm going to ride. You see me slide like a motherfucker. You see me ride like a motherfucker. You see me ride. You see me slide like a motherfucker. Ride like a you see me ride. I mean, they're heading to Miami. They're heading to Miami soon, so you got to go there. Like Jungle Boy's just gonna be all swagged out. Like, you see me ride like like Don Callis is like, man, he's not gonna even interfere in the match. Don Callis is gonna be like, he's like, I can't even interfere in the match. The song's too catchy. You see me ride like a motherfucker. You see me ride. You see me ride. Like, You see me ride like the motherfucker. You see me like Winnipeg, Manitoba's got swag up in here. He back in blood. Who you know I really shiesty. You know?
Oh my god, I love it. I love you, man.
but you know, I I don't think I'm actually okay with either result for some reason. Just because I'm riding like a motherfucker. I'm sliding in. You know? Be that good in the neighborhood.
That's
Good,
why it's
good.
speaking of neighborhood. Let's go ahead and talk to the god of podcasting who lives in the neighborhood. Money my Malupis. The floor is yours.
I mean, come on. I grew up in the streets of South Central Los Angeles. That would be great to hear something a little bit more hood from Jungle Boy. Yes, absolutely.
You see me?
They see me rolling. They hating. There you go. Shout out to Chameleonaire. Where's he at? Yeah, okay. I'll say this about this whole situation, that okay, Jungle Boy is highly unexpected to win, right? If I put up the mortgage to my house, I probably wouldn't put it on Jungle Boy. No, sir. But what if? There's always that what if he wins, right? And kind of stepping into boxing a little bit, you have Floyd Mayweather, who made a career out of what if. What if he lost? What if he loses? What if he gets knocked out? That's what sells the pay-per-views. And AEW is telling this story of, what if? What if Jungle Boy wins? Dynamite, unpredictability. So yes, that's what's gonna have me tune in and watch this match, because these are the type of matches that really catapult young talent. And we've seen Jungle Boy against Cody, where we know that Jungle Boy is able to put on a great match with the best of them. And who better than Kenny Omega at this point? It's just the god of wrestling, multiple simultaneous world champion. So yeah, I will be tuning in, and let's see what kind of show we get.
Mike, how will you get there though? Will you ride or will you slide?
Slide, baby, slide.
You see me? You see me slide like a motherfucker?
Now, here's the biggest question that we're gonna to end the topic with AEW very quickly. The biggest question is now, we did see Tony Khan appearing on a talk show discussing about various topics. One was about the birth of AEW. And he explained that because of the failure of World Championship Wrestling at a point, was given is kind of responsible for the birth of AEW. But how is that so? So he explains AEW exists, in my opinion, because of the failure of WCW. Because they vacated this great time slot. This is a great relationship with TNT and TBS that we have. And that was the success of WCW at that time. And that was their outlet to succeed. The penetration they had, which they had in TNT, TBS, and with the fans, what they want an alternative. You see, with AEW's remarkable rise has given fans the alternative, and while company continues to grow, its critics will continue to draw links between AEW and WCW. So he says, I think that some things that went wrong for WCW, in my opinion, were creative control. They gave creative control to a lot of the wrestlers, and some of the storylines were asinine. And some of the ideas were great, but it was very disorganized show. And when they brought somebody else in from WWE, like Russo, for example, he made it 10 times worse. He took it a problem, and they had a massive hangnail, and they just chop up the arm, and that was a part of the problem that they were not successful. And having one commander at the top is the one who could lead to success to succeed for a promotion instead of having wrestlers taking control creatively. That's the comments from Tony Khan. Money Mike, back to you.
Okay. Now, oh, I want to make sure people hear me because, yes, of course, AEW is a result of WCW failing, right? Had WCW succeeded, that there wouldn't be an alternative, right? AEW is the alternative because there is no alternative right now. There's nowhere else to go for wrestlers in a national American level, right? Well, I mean, sure, there's New Japan and Impact, but at the level, and more importantly, I guess, the money, the financial backup that the Khan family has, it allows for it to be the alternative. The Khan family has more money than the McMahons, right? Everybody knows.
Not true. Not
they
true.
Oh, here's the debate. Why do you say that?
The only reason why McMahon is a billionaire because this is a public company and they're not. McMahon has more money because of a public trading company. The stock sellings that he does, the stocks that it sells, and that it rises. Overall, technically, if you look at his base, McMahon, it's a little bit more than Daddy Khan, a little bit.
Wait, are you talking about Tony Khan or Father Khan?
Oh no, Tony Khan.
Oh no, well, I mean, I meant the family overall.
Okay, never mind. If you meant the family overall, then yes. But if you talk about Tony Khan, yeah.
No. Tony Khan, from what I heard, took a part of his inheritance and made AEW with it. Yes. So so there's that. No, but I'm talking about family-wise, the back.
Of course, yeah. His dad is like up there.
Oh yeah. So anywho, where was it going? Okay. AEW is doing great things right now, and I really, really, really enjoy their product. People are saying, "Oh, but they're not what they said they were going to be at the beginning," and they said because of that. Well, son, you got to remember they're in the professional wrestling business. They are a professional wrestling company. They are not the NFL, the NBA, the MLS, the NHL, rugby, or anything like that. That is a legitimate competition. There's storylines involved here, right? So obviously they're going to be pro wrestling. So there you go. So what was the initial question? I'm getting all fired up here.
Do you agree with his comments?
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. I'm already getting pissed off.
Why not? We want the people to see you pissed off. You gotta give the people what they want. Courage, Dirty Heels. Much love, brothers.
If you want a pissed off Money Mike Lopez, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Man, I don't know. People say, oh, there's no competition between WWE and AEW. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. It's obvious. They're in the same business. They're contracting the same type of individuals, wrestlers, sports entertainers, right? They can go from one company and do the exact same thing somewhere else. That's competition. That's, another company that's moving in on your territory, So yeah, there's competition going on for sure.
Matt Callis, how do you feel about those comments of Tony Khan's and Money Mike's comments?
I think Tony Khan is going to offer all of us the 200 whoppers that he buys every night on AEW Dynamite. Like, Mike, you know that every single night he buys 200 Whoppers from Burger King.
Yes. Shit, I want to work there now.
I don't know where each of them goes or where to all. I think I heard he carries some of them in a bag like with him on his person. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about Tony Khan is how I always feel about him. I'm just thinking about those Whoppers every single time. Vince McMahon, meanwhile, he's like eating like he only wants one turkey sandwich for himself, while Tony Khan's got 200 Whoppers. Versus Vince McMahon's one turkey sandwich that that he's just eating for fuel. Come on, and you can't even sneeze around him. Get out of here. Hold on. We make movies, pal.
That's right. I mean,
like he eats his water.
Oh shit.
He's like,
I don't drink my water. I eat that shit.
Like Vince McMahon chews his water. We make movies, pal. Well, Tony Khan's like, want a Whopper?
I could agree with Tony Khan's comments that there was mismanagement in WCW. That because of their fallout, AEW was kind of created. I would say that's one point. I think Tony Khan main things that he wanted to do was, of course, besides the Whoppers, was just to create, a promotion that has second doors to every other talent, not just realizing that I have to go to this promotion only that is able to pay me a certain amount of money to feed my family and to succeed. He opened those barriers for others that, hey, you can come here too. And, we'll make it happen. Honestly, in my opinion, New Japan could have been that platform. But the issue was that, of course, broadcasting in the United States, Japan to the United States at that time was extremely difficult. And of course, and because who owns the broadcasting world? Of course, Vince McMahon was the one putting out, hey pal, don't let this program be over here. He didn't care about Impact or Ring of Honor or any. Not disrespecting those companies because I love those companies, but it's the revenue that they don't have what McMahon has. That's why his empire was so strong. And now with Khan in the picture, of course, learning from the mistakes, seeing what WCW did. I'm not going to blame Russo here or anybody. I'm blaming everybody there, the whole board. Can't blame just one person. I blame Hogan. I blame Nash, Bischoff. I blame everybody. Everybody who was involved in management, it's everybody's fault for allowing it to happen because they knew they fucked up. So it's not one person. The only thing I blame Russo is Roman Hart, but never mind. I'll say that on another topic. But yeah, other than that, I think he has a good point, but we still have to wait and see, baby. You have to understand we spoiled fans are so used to storytelling, entertainment, and now people are seeing it differently. And this is a different product that he's bringing that people, I hear a lot. There's a lot of AEW marks. Cool, I hear it. But, come on, man. This is a new product for everyone. For us here, us three, we live, we pretty much was born and raised with the industry, with WWF mainly, but also, other promotions. But I give Tony Khan his credit of what he said. I agree with his comment. All right, so let's move on with pro wrestling news very briefly. So yeah, Cero, he has Cero Miedo. Tony Khan has Cero Miedo. Cero Miedo. Very briefly, we're going to go ahead and move on with pro wrestling news. Of course, Moose resigns with Impact. His contract was expiring this month in June, but he decided to stay. And I'm pretty sure he stayed for his demands. No details as of yet, but I know that the contract lasted until 2023, the summer. So good for him. Congratulations, Moose. Also, another thing, condolences to Sabu for the loss of his wife, Melissa Coates, who just recently passed away at the age of 50. Sabu, you hear Circle the Base saying you our condolences to you and Melissa's family. Uh, very, very deeply sorry to hear that loss, man. Just age of 50. And she was just recently on two shows. She was on Joe from the Ring, our League of Restorative Podcast Brothers, like 3 months ago, along with Jonah from Rewind, Recap, Relive as well, with Jeremy Prophet on those two. So, yeah, condolences to you, brother, man.
Yeah, it hits home. It's somebody we've actually through the League of Extraordinary Podcasters have had contact with. So it's very, it's just showing like how closely knit the family of wrestling really is.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So then I want to go ahead and move on. I wanted that Money Matt take. I mean, Money Matt. Wow, Money Mike. Yeah, I had a long day, as you can tell.
Yeah, I got some cash.
Matt Callis. Give him the two news what is going on in Japan world. One that is coming up in September and a rebrand. What is going on in the Japan world?
There is a multi-promotional event happening in Japan, but I believe Ivan refreshed me around what time of year is that happening around? You have the dates?
September 14th and the 15th.
So it's gonna be early fall, September 14th, 15th. And I think there was only like a couple of promotions left out of it. I know it's Noah, All Japan, and New Japan is all involved. I don't think there's Dragon Gate, and DDT and Noah are kind of partnered up pretty much. But I think the only one I didn't see was Dragon Gate in that mix. But I think this is going to be kind of similar because they've had joint events before. Like the other big event was like All Together Now, where you got to see Tanahashi versus Marufuji and all these amazing people. So it's going to be very worthwhile to watch.
Definitely. And now give them as well, who is rebranding this promotion that was very, very popular back in the days in Japan?
Is FMW Atsushi Onita's old promotion. Frontier wrestling. Frontier, I forgot what the M was. Frontier something.
Yeah.
Frontier martial arts wrestling.
Yeah. Frontier martial arts wrestling, yes.
But despite that name, it's pretty brutal nonetheless.
That's right.
And for those who've been keeping track, Atsushi Onita has mostly been wrestling with DDT as of recently. But now that FMW is back, that's going to be another big promotion to go to. And I have a feeling a lot of like GCW and CZW guys will have a Japanese sister company to go over and bleed for.
I agree. Hell yeah. Imagine, hey, Nick Gage versus Onita. I will pay for to see that. Why not? Yeah, like I said, I'm not much of a fan of that, but I love Nick Gage. MDK.
If it's in Japan, we'll be there with our udon, with our bowl of udon in the front row, like sipping it up. Well, hopefully the blood doesn't get in our udon.
That's right. And of course, the ending of the Pro Wrestling News. John Cena's returning. He's confirmed it. He said it. He's coming. So, but it's not SummerSlam. He did say not SummerSlam, but something tells me that he is. I think he's bullshitting. I think he's throwing a bluff. I think he's going to show up at SummerSlam. Money Mike, do you feel that he's going to show up at SummerSlam or not?
Yes. I think that what he means by not at SummerSlam is that, yeah, he'll be at SummerSlam, but that's not his return. Technically, he did say that his return is not going to be at SummerSlam because he's going to return at SmackDown. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, all right. I see. All right, well, we can wait to see that. What about Brock Lesnar, though? Do you feel like he's going to show up?
We already have Brock in eight. No. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But honestly, I think I see it as a possibility. Yeah, Brock Lesnar could. But I definitely want him on Raw against Lashley. if WWE wants to make SummerSlam the show to go to, it has to have Cena, Reigns, Lashley, Lesnar. That's it right there. That's their SummerSlam main event or whatever. Has to
Okay.
be that.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have to wait and see that. I mean, we don't know what's going to be the outcome of it. Another thing that kind of shocked me, even though that she's dating Juice Robinson, Tony Storm came out as uh, both ways, bisexual, bisexual. It's cool. I'm not hating. Look, I know it's Pride Month, so obviously I want to say, get off my chest very briefly. I here at Circle Debate, we don't discriminate, none of that. We accept Pride Month, and of course, I mean, I'm really happy. This is not as off topic of pro wrestling, but I'm happy that a national football player in the NFL league came out openly and said that he's openly gay. I'm happy for that because you guys deserve that. You guys just like Fred Roser, he is the first one in Americans to be signed in for New Japan as an openly gay professional wrestler. Even though he's not the first one, but there was other prior one before Patterson. I mean, we could go, but I'm happy for that. I'm happy that the people are coming out and actually, not being afraid. Like, so what? Don't discriminate. And I'm very happy for all of them, and I'm happy, that you guys get that opportunity. Like, like Fred, Tony Storm, like the player. Why not? Anybody who, kudos to all of you guys, and cheers to you guys. Keep on doing it. We here at Fan will support you, regardless of what that doesn't matter to me. Here in Circle Debate doesn't matter to us. We cheers, 100%. All right, now NXT. Matt should be excited about this one because all this time we were debating who is this Diamond Mine? Who is this Diamond Mine person? Turns out it was a group. Turns out it was Tyler Rust with his manager, Roderick Strong. The last person, I'm gonna let Matt give people here who is this individual and where he came from. And you should know who he is, Matt. You're very familiar with this individual.
I'm behind on my NXT news. I just say the name and I'll be able to.
He used to perform in Pro Wrestling Noah. His last name is Kushida.
Last name is Kushida. It's got to be Kushida.
Who do you know that used to perform in
Hideki Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not as familiar.
There you go, Suzuki. My apologies. See, the alcohol's talking.
Hideki Suzuki. I'm not the most familiar with him. I don't know. I don't think I've seen too many of his matches. Like, despite his past, his past in other promotions, because he's been in a lot of different places. According to that, he's been in All Japan, DDT, and Noah. But I don't know that much about him in terms of moves, so we'll get to see more of him as time goes on. According to this, he's from Hokkaido, which is up in the north.
Yeah, but he wrestled in Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah, he was in Noah for a bit and DDT. Mm-hmm. So he was trained by Billy Robinson. Mm-hmm. Also, according to this, so.
All right. So, what are you expecting from this Diamond Mine? What are you expecting from him?
I think just because Roderick Strong is a very, is just a great performer. I think guys under his flag, if he's got wrestlers under his flag, maybe he could duplicate himself. I think that's one thing when you go from wrestler to manager. Is it possible to duplicate yourself into the person that you manage? We get to see like a shadows. Like, of course, there are other people, but at the same time, just the way you build that story. I mean, Roderick Strong is a good storyteller. I gotta say, Roddy.
Oh yeah. Him being a teacher of that too. I love Tyler Rust. That's another one that I enjoy very, very much. So I'm very curious of what they're gonna do with this, with this group. So I'm very, very intrigued of what the hell they're gonna do. I guess they could say, "Oh, we're the Diamond Mine cuts that people didn't mind us." I don't know. I don't know what to call it in this one. But I feel this group is going to be something. I'm very intrigued, especially with Suzuki there. I like his work, so I'm definitely intrigued to see what's going to happen. Money Mike, how was your reaction when you see who the Diamond Mine was?
The Diamond Mine. I'm not a fan of the name. It sounds kind of cheesy to me. The Diamond Mine. I don't know. Everything's subjective, of course. But for me, it's a hard pass. Um, Again, well, I'm not too familiar with everybody in the group, so they could be the greatest thing since the Beatles, right? Pro wrestling wise. Um, but of course, the heart is okay. It's kind of opening up here, you know. Yeah, yeah. It's all right. Sure. Um,
Boom.
but yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see what they do. Ask me again a couple months from now.
Okay, definitely.
It's like a magic 8 ball. Ask me again later.
And now I want to go ahead and move on now with I want to move on with now we're seeing a new different plot with Gargano now. Looks like they're gonna go with a face with him. Looks like I mean we haven't touched that subject yet with the NXT American Bash yet because they're barely stacking up the card. But I mean by far we already have 3 matches announced. But I want to say that when we get to that point for it before we discuss about it. But I want to get your thoughts about them turning now Gargano into he was your funny heel, now he's gonna be your funny face. Because for a fact, seeing what happened this past week at NXT, for a fact he's gonna get a title shot. He's gonna be the number 1 contender. It looks like him and Austin Theory are going face for sure. I still see Candice and Indy staying heel, but it looks like Gargano is gonna go back to the face. So I don't know how you feel about that, Money Mike. What are your thoughts?
I'm okay with it. You know, it's good to have this change now. It feels right. It feels right to me. And to be fair, you know, I like how this turn is going right now. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In NXT, I feel has a good track record as far as the wrestlers that I like of having good turns, right? So, yeah, sign me up.
All right. Matt Steamboat, how do you feel about Gargano? Face or heel?
Well, it doesn't matter if it's face or heel. Do you know the way?
There you go. Do you know the way? Yes, we know the way here at Circle because we are the way with Circle today.
Like Knuckles Gargano is like who he is to me. I need to make that meme sooner or later, but you know, maybe I'll know the way once I see some more of it. You know, I'll know the way to Gargano.
Yes, you know the way. That's right, definitely. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Just everything to build up by far in NXT has been okay. I mean, it's just little teas here and there, but we still have to wait. I mean, now we're seeing Lacey Ryan, Zoe Starks, and Shirai now trying to be tag team for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. I mean, we'll see how that works out next week coming up. North American title, I haven't heard anything yet. I think I still want Escobar to be a part of that picture. We did see more of, I don't know, we saw, Jesus Christ, I'm having a brain fart here. I can't believe the new group. What was the new group called with, what's his face? I can't believe I forgot it. I literally forgot. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. You have to excuse me. And then the alcohol is talking. So, I mean, by far, I mean, there's upcoming feuds that are coming that I'm very, very extremely curious to see what they're going to go ahead and do with NXT. But other than that, Now let's jump to WWE very briefly. Hell in a Cell. The topic of the night to end it, Hell in a Cell. I will tell you that, first of all, we did have a SmackDown Hell in a Cell, so they had a Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. I do not know what their approach is, but I guess it's ratings-wise on both networks, on Fox and USA. So I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me. But overall, this was it. Only 4 matches was in Hell in a Cell. Was it 4 or 5? Was it 5, right, Mike? I think it was 5. So I'll go with you, Mike. What were your thoughts about that event overall? What did you think about it? What did you grade it?
I grade like a C plus. I could have gone with C minus, but I'm going with a C plus. I liked who won, and I liked that Bobby Lashley beat McIntyre. I'm a Bobby Lashley guy, So yeah, Hurt Business all the way. I'm glad that he's retaining the title, building up that legacy, and building up that title reign. So I can only imagine Brock Lesnar, who is next for him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Callis.
Was it one of the cages was a red basket from the supermarket? Yeah. It's like, here it is. Here's the red basket. It's like the onion fell out. The onions and the milk and the orange juice fell out.
I give it a B. B plus. I was actually happy. Short pay-per-view. I think they're saving it for Money in the Bank, which we'll talk about that. I think I'll talk about that next week. Because I as the story's plotting up right now, like the qualifiers and everything, I'd rather wait and see where they're going with it. I don't want to jump the gun yet. I'd rather just wait and see what they're doing. Even though Mike is not really watching WWE anymore, but I'm keeping him up to date as much as I can, ladies and gentlemen. Because he has to be, he has to get ready for the debate against, of course, the Tribal Chief podcast. He has to get ready for that. So he has to get ready for that.
Okay. So we're talking about this now. We're talking about the debate against Clark Street. I am glad you accepted the challenge, good sir. I'm very much looking forward to it. Should be fun. And I saw your latest episode. And I don't know, some of the points made, I want to say that you guys are, optimistic about WWE in a way that I haven't been in a while, because I really don't like what they've done lately. And to paraphrase the Joker, I don't know if I've said this before in past episodes, but to paraphrase the Joker, WWE is not good, and I'm tired of pretending that it is. It's just WWE is lacking a lot of stuff right now. So I tune in. I don't know when this is going to happen, but I'm very much looking forward to it.
Absolutely, we will. We'll all be waiting for it. Of course, this is going to be a tough one for me because I'm going to be the one just asking the questions. I'll be the one asking the questions. That is for sure. I'll have my answers, but I'm neutral, man. I watch everything. I love pro wrestling. Period. I love it. I love it, man. I love it, man. But yes, we will talk about more with WWE next week about Money in the Bank and everything. Everything that's occurring right now. I know there's a lot of room in your window, especially with the draft coming up. But as of right now, we're gonna hold off to that. We will discuss about that next week. We do apologize for another short episode, ladies and gentlemen, but we're on a time frame. But we will be back next week fully. All 4 of us will be back fully because we have a busy weekend this weekend because, of course, we have the birthday boy and, of course, Money Mike has other incredible projects coming up that and also Matt Callis have another incredible projects. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Circle of Food. I mean, I know it is non-related of sports, of MMA, music, or wrestling. But hey, I was just trying to show you how to make a nice, refreshing, spicy dish.
Our spider web expands.
That's right.
Now, I'm pretty confident. Actually made ramen right before we started. And I've got some pretty interesting experimental dishes that I wouldn't mind adding to the Circle of Food.
That's right. So we might see another episode of Circle of Food with Matt Callis cooking for you guys, or Money Mike Lopez.
Next level sausages.
That's what she said.
I knew.
I was just waiting for I was just waiting for it.
We don't make rolls in this podcast. We make risotto.
We'll make risotto. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it was a short episode. Once again, we've been having a busy, tight schedule that we can be. But we will be back next week, 61, starting fresh off. So everybody fresh. Everybody will be great, ready to grow, especially for 4th of July weekend. We'll be speaking a lot upcoming up with pro wrestling news, and of course, update for next week's AEW Dynamite. We'll talk about it, and also recapping this Saturday's AEW as well. Are we going to see a new champion or not? We don't know yet. And also, we're going to recap NXT as well and much more. Don't forget to see this Sunday top 5 picks of the week, ECW World Champions. And we check our top 5 ECW champions. So I'm looking forward to speaking about that. And also Sunday as well, ladies and gentlemen, for all our SoCal natives, make sure you actually go ahead and if you're around the area, once again, 1720 Warehouse, look for that. It's a brewery in downtown LA. The one and only, the director, will be performing there at 7:45 p.m. Doors open at 7. Come on in. You'll see him being the second, not the first opening, second one, and the last as well at 11 o'clock as well. So make sure you come on by, say hi to us. Let's have a beer together. Let's talk some wrestling, some music, whatever you want. Whatever you want. And plus, because it's going to be my birthday that day, so I'll be there too, especially it's my birthday. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of our platform listeners, our audio platform listeners, to Spotify. You see, I had a long day. 3 hours of sleep is not enough for me. Yes, I know, legend. But yes, Spotify, Podbean. Oh, Bullhorn, that we have the new one now. That Bullhorn, I'm like, which I'm going to show, Mike and Matt album off there. This is new to me. But yes, this is a lot of these new platforms that are coming up. So make sure you guys keep, thank you for tuning in. I'll let Mike let the European audiences know that we appreciate you and being along there with us. We apologize for the late, for the long week. We're doing the best we can. But next week, we'll be up and fresh going. Let them know, Mike.
Danke für hören Sie Circle Debate und wir lieben alles unsere Freunde in Deutschland. Danke, bis bald. Tschüss.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in here in episode 60. And we'll see you this Sunday for the top 5 and next week as well. But to end that note, the Mad Hatter himself, what do we do here on CLD?
I must say, this is episode 60. We're not that far away from episode 69. We're getting closer and closer, and we might have to do something special. The most unserious episode known to man, where everything's really just about rice. and potatoes, too.
Money Mike.
We don't just make podcasts, we make history.
Ooh. That's like Stan Smith level of that's sexy, man. My God.
Good day, everybody. See you later.